Terry Harper, I would like to know, how old is she at the minute?
She's 25.
Yeah, there's more chance of you knowing Terry's age than Terry herself, I think. So you got Terry fighting. The fight's finally made. You know, there was rumours online. I think a Twitter account broke the news a few months ago, but everyone thought it was a joke. But it's getting made. Terry's moving up a few weight divisions. So the fight's done. I just want to talk to you about some tweets recently where I think you put a video out of some sparring to show how Terry got on in the sparring, and then there was some back and forth between you and Hannah Rankin's team. So just talk to us about that.
And obviously not me put it down, although I'll get accused of being on Terry's account and putting it out, but I think she's just a little bit bored or seeing negative comments regarding, you know, the weight jumping and people saying weight categories are for a reason and like it's just too big of a jump. And I just think she just wanted to show people that it's not too big of a jump. The weight is not an issue. And she just wanted to show that she was performing. That was 2 weeks before her last fight in March. So she was only 10 stone, and she was just innocently wanting to show people, and then she put a picture up of her and Anna side by side. Some people will have took that wrong way. Some people, I mean, I might be annoying, I might take bits of it and put it out, but one of the young lasses, we didn't even know we had that footage. One of the young lasses were in just innocently filming a bit of sparring, and that's where it come from. So yeah, in not kind of Teddy's defence, but she just put that out to show people that she's not out in the depth, and she just wanted to show. So it was just, that's all that was.
So what is the plan going forward? Because obviously Tasha Jonas is fighting this Saturday, and if Terry does succeed against Hannah, is the aim straight away to make that unification fight?
That's a massive fight, isn't it? I mean, Natasha's got a big fight herself this weekend, so we wish her all the best. She's got a chance to be unified super lightweight champion at world, which is massive. Obviously, we're concentrating on a very big job a few weeks later, but can you imagine the magnitude of that fight if it was to happen again? That could be massive. The controversial draw. People think Natasha won, people thought Teddy won, people thought a draw were even. You can't argue. Natasha and Teddy's fight during that pandemic was a phenomenal fight. Both ladies laid everything on the line, and it's one of them now where people would be massively intrigued if that fight happened again. And can you imagine Teddy being world champion, Natasha owning, and them unifying? Probably Ring Magazine belt could be put online for that, but who would have fought this? They fought 2 years ago at 130, and potentially, if they both win, that's probably on verge of undisputed. There'd only be one next. You couldn't write that story, so massive. I'd arguably say, I know, like now we've got Shields and Savannah, which is a massive, massive fight. Don't get me wrong; the magnitude of that is on a bigger scale. But domestically, Terry and Jonas, I would stick my neck on line and say could be as big as any of them when it comes to selling, because the British, more people would be interested. And I think that would be a massive fight. But like I say, they've both got big. That's the question that's on your lips. They've both got big fights to win coming September, and I do wish Jonas good luck with that one this weekend, because it could be massive. And yeah, generally we will be rooting for another British world champion, unified world champion.
Well, all the best to the ladies out there, because there's some great fights coming up. So I'm going to move on to the Maxi Hughes saga. Back and forward with Ryan Garcia. I think there was mention of Jordan Linares as well. And then a last-minute DM from Ryan Garcia against. Just explain to us, what was that last-minute DM and what went wrong there?
It's boxing, isn't it? It's crazy. So we agreed terms with Maxi and Barry, like, not counting, like 8 weeks ago, we agreed terms, and that took a bit of back and forth. I think the situation was they didn't know where the fight were taking place, whether it would be Nottingham. I think Leewood and Santa Cruz held up all the events, and it was back in, we're going to Sheffield, we're going there. So obviously, so we agreed terms, not contracts, agreed terms, everything were over the line, we were all happy. Maxi getting paid the money he deserves, and So obviously, and then the Ryan Garcia just popped up out of blue, sent Maxi a DM, which is wrong. It should have come from. This is the modern world we're in now with social media and having the rights. It was no right for him to be directly DMing Maxi, not his management, not his promotional company, basically saying, I know I asked you about this fight again. I should be fighting Tank, but it's not looking like that fight could happen. Would you be willing to go in October? So what do you say to that? We've got that. I mean, that's a life-changing opportunity to fight someone of that magnitude financially. So we'd be daft not to pursue it. So Eddie representing Maxi were obviously pursuing that, and then that's when the Barry and Maxi fight came on hold. So none of us knew where we were for like 2 weeks. Just we're all in limbo. It seemed as if everything had gone on hold during the Leo Santa Cruz and Woods situation. Nobody knew where we were at. And then just like proper crazy out the blue, I think then it was Lee Wood were going to America kind of to fight Leo Santa Cruz, so then they needed a main event. And they just came back with us with, what about Linares? And like, wow, that's massive to fight somebody of such stature, freeweight world champion, as a main event, which we're going to be in Sheffield. So, like, we didn't even have no time to hesitate. We got a financial package that were higher than what Maxi were getting. We're all happy. We all agreed. We thought we were fighting Linares, Sheffield Arena, main event, Teddy Chief support. I think Barry had obviously still been on showing another big fight himself. So that were all happening. And then they're off to Saudi. We AJ. The fight should have been announced. So we're all waiting. We're not pesting Matchroom as we know we've got a busy weekend. And then we come back and Linares' team had changed goalpost. I think there were a number of different promoters who started getting involved, representing him. Then we asked for change of dates. So then we had a good think about it. Eddie gave us an option. Look, we could still wait for that fight, but Ulster said we get it over the line. And Max is a prize fighter. He needs to be getting in ring, he needs to be earning, and he wants to be getting in ring, and he wants to be getting active. So then it's back to Barry. We're back in Nottingham. So just a crazy, like, we've gone full circle, 8 weeks to go around this full circle.
What happened with that latest Ryan Garcia DM then? So
well, it just ended up, nothing came of it. Obviously, there were, I think their heart set on all the like, I think the thing is with Garcia is young, so he's this social media, I want this fight, I want that fight, and then when them fights don't get delivered, it seems everyone's disappointed. I think time and experience will keep that. If he keeps that a little bit quiet and stops going, you know what I mean, let the promoters, let the management do the work. And I just think he's just a bit relentless, probably his personality. I don't know him on a personal, just probably got that kind of personality, but he shouldn't be, calling out fights that probably shouldn't get made, and he certainly shouldn't be DMing fighters. But listen, it's the modern world, it's social media, it gives us access to go and approach people directly. So I think, nothing really came of it. So Max is more than happy. He's been training very hard. We've, like I said, this fight and this date we've known about it for a while. He'd been sparring southpaws all the time anyway, so he's still happy and he's still fully focused on the job he's got. Him and Barry, I think it's a great fight. I really do.
It is definitely a great fight. But with regards to Barry, obviously in that situation, he's saying it's been a bit of a nightmare for Maxi, not knowing what's going on. How do you think Barry must be feeling? I'm just trying to think in his position, thinking I've got a fight, and then I haven't got a fight, then I've got a fight. Yeah. How do you reckon he must be dealing with that?
Well, it's exactly the same. I mean, Barry's a model professional. I've known Barry all these years. We've been in South Yorkshire, and he's a great professional. So it will have affected him mentally, on, off, on, who am I fighting, what am I fighting? But I think the pros, aren't there? He lives in the gym. Same as all world-class fighters do. All dedicated fighters are in the gym. So he'll have been similar kind of position to Maxi, where they'll have just head down and working, and Dom and all the team over in the Ingles, they're very professional. They'll have just had the heads down. But mentally, it won't have been good. But at least it's like still a full 4 weeks to go, and I think he'll still be fully focused, and we've got ourselves a cracking South Yorkshire derby on the night.
Definitely, I'm genuine. I think that fight could potentially shock fans, because I think you could be like a bit of a tear up.
Yeah, I think like Max is a boxer, and people think that Barry's in messy fights, but it's all about styles, and I think it's a good fight. I really do. I mean, it's the financial package. Maxi couldn't get anywhere near this fight in anybody in Europe or this kind of thing, and it is a solid fight, and I think it's going to be a good fight, definitely.
And the last fight I want to talk to you about, Florian Marco fought the weekend, and they put a tweet out yesterday saying who would be good for him next. And
I tagged Anthony.
I tagged Anthony Tomlinson. Yeah. I think it's a great fight. What do you think? Could that get made?
Well, I don't know if it could get made. But yeah, I know what you mean by it, because somebody's just going to get knocked out. I mean, Anthony. Everybody knows Anthony's style. He's in and bombs away. But do you know what? Anthony's in the gym all the time again, and do you know all he wants? He just wants to fight and aim and test himself. I think the fight he had with the Mexican, he just moved to new trainers, come out in his comfort zone. You've got to give him his due, Anthony. Like he's never shied away from a fight, and all he wants a full camp and have the opportunity to. He's not a name dropper or anything like that, but he's unsigned. He's not contracted to anybody, so he could go any station, and he would be a solid domestic fight for anyone. Like Florian Marco, Chris Congo, them kind of fighters who are not there yet and on the verge of there. And I think Anthony would go in and give any of them a fight, and it's not a call out, but if any of them, give the kid an opportunity. That's all he wants. He's a model professional. His record suggests 17 and 16, only lost one defeat. He deserves an opportunity on TV and a bit of a payday. And I think he'd give any of them kind of fighters a very good fight.
Definitely. Anything else you want to talk about, Stefy?
Not really. I think you're the one who sat with all the questions. I think we're all good.
Your co-trainer, your colleague Ray wasn't too happy about the binmen. Could you sort the binmen out for him?
Ray's moaning a lot of late. I think he's getting. Do you know what? He's turning into a bit of a Victor Meldrew, isn't he? Because from walking in this gym, he moans, to leaving gym at moans. So I'd no idea how he is around the house with them little kids he's got with moaning all the time. So Ray, stop your moaning, Victor.
On that note, we'll leave it at that. Thank you, Stefy. Good luck Saturday.
Cheers.